Hello and welcome, I'm Raziel and it is Heresy Thursday, and today's Heresy model is the Traitor Council Champion. The bad guy, the counter to that most boring of models, the Loyalist Trade Champion Consul. Yeah, that's a really boring model. And I gotta say, this one looks slightly better. There's no movement either again to it. It's very static, but it does look a little bit better. I can see some people complaining that it looks like a Space Marine if someone who didn't work for Games Workshop would say a Space Marine looked like. But yeah, okay, it doesn't look too bad. The pose is very reminiscent of the Chaos Lord. But other than that, yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's not great. I think it's quite boring, to be honest with you, for a champion. I think champions should stand out. They should be full of bravado, full of sacre bleu. I don't know, some French word which you can use there. But it should be a model which stands out on the field. It's not, he's a HQ, but he's like not quite a praetor, but someone who's been chosen because of his skills, and he should look like that. And now, given that Fulgrim's coming out very soon, and so we know there's a point in the heresy we are, spiky armor is definitely going to be here, and which means if you're playing traitors, there's little excuse for you to get this model as your champion. I mean, it's not a bad model. It's going to cost £27.50, so it's not overly priced, which is something I never thought I'd talk about or say talking about Forge World. But it does look pretty good for what it is, and like I said, it's not going to be an expensive model. But given such again, we are at this stage where they are turning to chaos. Their models, we've got a Demon Primarch coming. Can't see why you would get this guy over, things from 40k, because this is the sort of models that we should be using now if you're doing traitors this way. And yes, I do actually have an army for Horus Heresy which I'm building using 40k models. I'm doing Death Guard, so I'm using Plague Marines because they look cool. So anyway, given this, and I can't really talk about a model. How does anyone do that? Talk about a single model for 10 minutes? I know I've said my piece about the model, but as always, I think if you're going to go further, there is models you could use for different legions. And we're going to chaos this way, well, because it's chaos. And let's start with the simplest, because this model is very, very similar to. So if you're doing Iron Warriors or Sons of Horus, the normal Chaos Lord would be your go-to. It's a very similar pose. It's very common, and it doesn't actually need much work. Bit of a head swap, and that's you, to be honest with you. You could always change the backpack out as well, should you wish, or exchange the hammer for a sword. But yeah, pretty much very simple. That's your Sons of Horus and your Iron Warriors. But also Iron Warriors, if you want to make it a little bit more perturbatory and a bit more Iron Warrior, they've got the Warpsmith too. Just change the backpack. You have his axe, you've got a lot of the cogs, and you've got that Iron Warrior look. So maybe that one would be good for you too if you're doing Iron Warriors. It's very tempting. Next is Death Guard. Death Guard's actually got a couple I've spotted which would be really good. You've got the Plague Marine Champion. He has his Power Fizz, and you just give him a gun too. Give him a bolter. Take off the Plague Nurgling off his base if you wish. Give him a Mark III helmet. And there you go. It's a nice little model for you for your Death Guard. But if you care not to go that route, another one I spotted, which will take a little bit of converting, is the Plague Marine Icon Bearer. You could also use the Icon Bearer as an Icon Bearer, of course. But you have the bolt gun. Just give him a close combat, a power weapon where the icon would be. And then you have a nice. But I reckon the Icon Bearer would be far more fitting to the Horus Heresy, because he's not as fat, he's not all grotesque like the champion, but he will fit in with a post Plague Marine army. Definitely. Right, that's 3 done. Where are we now? Oh, let's talk about the most controversial, the Alpha Legion. And this one will take a lot of converting, but it will look fantastic. And that's Cypher. Right, you need to get rid of a backpack and that lion sword. That's got to go straight away. Of course, you're going to have to take off the dark. Well, you could actually keep it as well, being Alpha Legion. You could keep it, but take off some of the Dark Angel insignia. and you've got the cloak and the cowl, so he would look really good for your Alpha Legion models, your Alpha Legion champion. Again, you're going to have to give him a sword somehow, other way. You could have you could maintain the Lion Sword if you want, and just, like I said, take the Dark Angel stuff off, or replace it with a spare chainsword or a power sword, a power gun sword as well. So yeah. Next is the Word Bearers. Word Bearers have one of the easiest, to be honest with you. It's the Dark Apostle. It's a fantastic looking model. It'll look great as a champion for your army. And being Dark Word Bearers, you don't actually have to do much to him. He has a power mace. Well, his Crucius Arcanum. His cursed Crucius Arcanum, of course. But just make that a power mace. You got that. And, he's put a holster and with a bolt gun or something in it on his side. Let him keep the book. That will really show him as champion of the Word Bearers, and look fantastic. Really will. Now we've got let's think. The Emperor's Children. Yes, Emperor's Children. This one's a little bit odd and difficult because I don't know what's happening with Emperor's Children. We got Fulgrim coming, and honestly, I think we're going to get some. I think we're going to get some upgrade kits for the Emperor's Children, which will be very corrupted. I mean, it'd be a shame, but not again for 40k. But also, it does talk about Plastic Army, and there's not much you could do. But you could get the upgrade kit for the Emperor's Children. That's going to cost you £11, and I would say get the Havoc box. And that would convert the champion of that up into your champion. He's a very dynamic character. He's got his sword in the air. He's very dynamic. Give him the Emperor's Children bits and pieces, and there you go. You would have a very nice looking Emperor's Child champion Consul for your army. Again, if you wish, put the Mark III power armor backpack on him as well. And World Eaters. Actually, I would just kit bash Khan the Betrayer. I would just get Khan the Betrayer and kit bash him. That's all I would do. I would make him my champion. He's a nice looking model for your World Eaters. He's a fantastic looking model. And given this actual stage in Horus Heresy, he wouldn't look too bad as Khan the Betrayer himself. But yeah, I would kit bash him, change the axe to a sword, or actually take the entire arm off and give him a powered armor. So arm. Keep the plasma pistol, and there you go. That would be quite easy. That was the way I would do it. But also have him have the sword swinging backwards, so it's like he's going full sprint, not with his axe back as if it's just been swung, but if he's going full sprint. And what's we done? We've done all of them except one, and that's the Thousand Suns. The Thousand Suns are again, like with Death Guard, have a couple which can be easily converted. First one would be the Sorcerer. Just convert him. He looks pretty cool. Take the scepter or staff, make that a power weapon. Probably an axe or something would look pretty good. He's got a holster with his gun, and just keep the power. That would look pretty sweet. That'd be pretty cool. Change his backpack to a Mark III or Mark IV 6 one. And that's your first one. The second one is the Infernal Master. I would give him a head swap. Definitely change the staff and give him a pistol as well. So there you go. That's all the ones I would do for Chaos and Traitors rather than getting this one. And all of them are pretty much cheaper except the World Eater one, Emperor's Children one, because the Havoc box is quite expensive. But that's what I would do rather than get him. I mean, it's not a bad looking model. I do like it. I think it's alright, but it's a bit dull, it's a bit boring. It's alright, especially if you're doing Iron Warriors or Sons of Horus. But anyone else, especially in this time frame of the Horus Heresy where you can honestly start using the Chaos from 40k into your army. I know a lot of people are like, you shouldn't do that, it's Horus Heresy, you should keep them separate. But this is all changing now. We're coming to the late stages. They're getting spiky, they're getting grimy, they're getting everything else. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you all again soon. Link to Railing Games down below if you wish to save even more money on your Warhammer, of course. There is other games to play, which I always suggest. And finally, there is Forbidden Planet, Patreon. But as always, treat yourself rather than treating me. And my merchandise. I do all the designs and everything. That's all my work. Have a great day. I'll see you all again soon. Bye bye.